frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. For you who've been trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
Hello, this is Karen from the Final Swindle, and I am joined by
Woody, also from Final Swindle.
Woo. So today we are presenting a great matchup between D20 Team B, I believe, and New York City. We're in the top 16 of KOTE 8. So we're going to see some really high quality of decks at a low SAS. So without further ado, I'm going to let Woody start us off with Zorka, Patchwork, Ultrasoft.
Close enough, right?
Yeah.
call it Zorka. Zorka, interesting little AOA here. So I'll start with the Brobnar, and immediately you see the double drummer knot, like Ganger Chieftain, which is so interesting. I feel like I never see multiple drummer knots. It's always one drummer knot and multiple Ganger Chieftains, which is maybe the supreme combo, but this is still pretty good because that means you're probably going to be able to get the loop going, and get that combo off for a little bit of amber generation. It weirdly doesn't pair well with Signal Fire. Just looking at some of the other like good cards in the Brobnar. But Screech Bomb's a great card. Cards Zen is a great card. But like the big Brobnar thing is the drummer knot loop, I think. Moving to the Dis, we've got some good disruption with the double streak. You can get that going. Like Lash Broken Dreams really can help out. Because this deck doesn't have a ton of mana control overall.
Chris has just stepped away, and
nice.
I'll try and get him to fix the echo as soon as he comes back. It might just because he's unmuted me.
Poltergeist is like the only artifact control in the deck, so that's also I don't know if their deck has any artifacts like kind of a typical full moon with a lot of creatures, which is always nice. Unfortunately, two of those are glimmers, which you can't play that after a full moon. But Double Growth Keeper is interesting. I don't know exactly how like amazing it is, but it could be a thing. And Post Pixies is always kind of nice to avoid getting a bunch of your stuff stolen. So it's kind of an interesting Untamed. It's gonna do the full moon play. It really needs like a key cheat though, or like a Dust Pixie or something. But they're everywhere, and the Save the Pack is also a nice play if you're trying to just clear a board. Kind of a clunky board clear, but it's there. So
Right. And then you have the kind of glimmer consistency to bring it back.
Exactly.
Yeah, and before I move to mine, so I mean, what I'm seeing out of Zorka is that you have a deck that is very much trying to keep my board clean so that it can do its drummer knot loop. The Grove Keepers can pump up the drummer knots, since you were asking about that.
Oh, sure.
Life Ward to keep the board clean and preserve that. So, and you also have like an Exhume to kind of plant that back, so you just keep replanting. Glimmer maybe, yeah.
The Brobnar really does. Just looking at it again, like the Sound the Horns and the Gauntlet, like it really seems like it's built around getting that loop off.
Yeah. No, I mean This is drummer not loop deck here.
Yeah, that is the win condition here, I think.
Right. To the best of my knowledge. So moving to Michel, the Manor Viceroy. We have a Brobnar Shadows Untamed deck. And essentially what is going on here is the A is pretty decent. The E is, very good for decks that are sitting at 66, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talking about the Brobnar a little bit, Earthshaker I think is a very kind of underrated card in just its ability to take care of a board. So if those 2 streaks come out or something, just take out all that low-powered stuff. Heba the Huge, same kind of benefit here to just put a little bit of damage on. Double Crumps, double Smash. We're talking about just like a lot of stunning, a lot of line disruption as you're throwing down big creatures. The Khalifi Dragon is probably a throwaway most of the time, but you never know. And when it does go off, it's a pretty nice plus. But mostly lots of stunning, lots of board presence on that Brobnar. The Phoenix Heart, I'm going to keep an eye out for. It's always a card that you can do really, really creative things with if you're playing the deck really intelligently. In particular, being able to recur those Hunting Witches in the Untamed. So I'll move to the Untamed next. Double Hunting Witch is really the star of the show here. 3 Big Twig is just adding to that Brobnar kind of like board presence. So, that may not be generating a lot of amber for you, but we're talking about 3 creatures at 7 power. Just a good amount of board population. 2 fairies are always a reap threat. But mostly we're looking at, that double Hunting Witch combined with board presence. The Shadows, double Miasma, double Nerve Blast, double Routine Job. We're just talking about just kind of a high card quality Shadows more than anything really kind of popping off the charts as far as like a broken combo, right? So when I look at this deck in particular, I think that I'm looking at just a high average card quality. Moving to the particular matchup kind of concerns, I am thinking that basically my ability to put a lot of big bodies on board is going to inhibit your ability to do the drummer knot kind of combos that you're going after. So I think that I have a huge edge up. In particular, I have great amber generation for the SAS level. And I feel like I can, between my miasmas and everything, you're basically not going to be able to benefit from the board either. What do you think?
I think that's right, and I think the mutual deck here is gonna generate even more amber than the DOK number suggests. But like,
right.
With so many 6 and 7 power creatures, it's actually just kind of like I get why Zorka is here, right?
Right.
And it runs into like kind of Zorka Kryptonite. Like really, it's just like a bunch of 7 and 6 power creatures. Like takes the Drummernaut loop kind of right out of the deck.
Right. Yeah. No, it really is just a case of rock meeting paper as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But we'll watch the game now. Maybe we're totally wrong.
If history tells us anything.
Yeah, we're totally wrong.
And we're in. And we're back, guys. So, thank you to Swindle for as ever doing the great deck breakdown. What do you think of these 2 starting hands? Well, that's the first mulligan.
Yeah, mulligan straight away there. Quite a wise one, especially since we now see double streak, but not going to be able to take full advantage. Starting with the old Yurk, probably trying to dig for more disc creatures to take advantage of the streaks, but this is going to be both big twigs coming down. Beautiful. And for him to heal with huge plays, because we're going to see these streaks come down, and usually you wouldn't really have that much of an answer with 2 big twigs for two power creatures of elusive, but this Earthshaker is just going to make light work of them. Smash, stun the Yurk. Earthshaker will deal with the rest of the board. Headhunter will sit as a threat, and Khalifi Dragon gets binned. It would be great to see a Khalifi Dragon come down. Can only be played if you're 7 or more amber, fight reap, deal 5 damage to a creature, gain 1 amber.
I don't think I've ever seen it played before.
I've played it a couple of times, mainly in sealed. Yes, Burundi, he had Coward's End, and there's a fair few times he should play it throughout this game. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Plays Lash, plays Exhume to bring back the Yurk, discards the Rexadar. Got this Bromna again. Fights Headhunter into Cover the Quiet because it gains one either way. Reap, gonna get to 6, gets to 7, gets to 8, and then Tremor is completely pointless. We hear Chris opening Evil. You might hear Chris opening Evil Twin, so they can hear you opening decks, mate. Playing the Bramo here feels weird. Because you kind of want to get the creatures off the board, on the board. Play Silver with Reaps. Then we see the Pawn Sacrifice, which gets rid of the War Grumpus and it deals damage to the Bremo. So Verundi down 5, Arcane 0, stuck on the 3. Plays Glimmer. Uses Glimmer to bring back Grovekeeper. Plays double Grovekeeper. The Coward's End has lost all value here. There's so much damage. We see the Ganganot combo, but it isn't going to do anything with these big twigs here. And I think that's why Verundi wanted them down first to prevent any kind of early Ganganot nonsense. Now, Reaps a big twig, exhausts one Grovekeeper, exhausts the other Grovekeeper. It's hunting, which is going to be really hard to deal with. Because Reach the Eye is right back there ready to go. Uses Gauntlet Command to fight with Drummernot early. Again, that's a really strange play. Because you could just perpetually heal your Drummernot. So we see the fight, and there's the Coward's End to blow everything else up. But Verundi has got 3 left, and now we see a Shadow's turn. Steals 1, steals 2, steals 3, plays the Spy Master, passes, and now we see the second Hunting Witch, Double Do Fairy, Crump, Gangan Chieftain, Phoenix Heart. Coldweek is going to deal with the Spy Master. Stops the check by going into Untamed, by going into this. Hunting Witch, Fairy, 8, pass. Arcane is forced to go in, but this is a dire situation for Arcane. 1 Amber away from winning for Verundi. Needs a miracle to put it back here. Doesn't get it, unfortunately. Goes Untamed. Reap. Boom. Arcane plays Glimmer. Pulls back. Grovekeeper Full Moon. They're everywhere. Will deal with both the Do Fairies, but there's no way of stopping 15. Oh, that's really it. So Verundi takes that 3 keys to 0, and I will, yes.